feel like I'm about to interrogate somebody. I'm about to interrogate you guys right now. Where were you July 31st, 1983? Tell me right now. Okay? No, what we're about to talk about is firearms safety, which is one of those things that never goes out of style because it is so important. It is something I see violations happen all of the time, and we're talking from military, law enforcement, civilian, competition guys. Everybody breaks some of the rules, and if you don't want to look like that guy or that gal on the range, that RSO kind of hovering over you because they think you're a flight risk, we're going to talk about it. All right, so I brought my notes with me because this is a rather important topic. So as we're going into this, we're gonna have some visuals for you. You're gonna have my lovely voice over, and we're gonna talk about safety on the range. First and foremost, we have those 4 universal firearm rules. You know what I'm talking about, the 4. If you don't know what they are, I'm about to give them to you. Number 1, you're gonna treat all firearms as if they are loaded. Number 2, you are going to keep your finger off of the trigger until your sights are on target and you intend to fire. Number 3, we do not point our gun at anything we are not willing to destroy. And number 4, know your target and what is beyond it. I will even say what is around the target or in front of the target as well. These are extremely important, and they are the basic, fundamental, foundational rules of safety that you need to know if you are planning on carrying a firearm or you're at the range. To reiterate, going back to rule number 1, we treat every firearm as if it is loaded. So, really good rule of thumb here, when that gun comes out of the bag, make sure we are checking the chamber for any live rounds. I know sometimes we get a little complacent, sometimes we leave rounds in the chamber, so doing a little quick checkaroo and making sure there are no rounds in there is just a good little safety tip. Then of course, never point the muzzle at anything you're not willing to destroy. That should be a no-brainer, but some people do it, and it's not a good thing to do, okay? Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on target and you are ready to fire. Reinforcing good, solid discipline, guys. Making sure that index finger is straight and off of the trigger. Make sure you are indexing the frame or the slide, wherever you place your finger, that is up to you. Just make sure it's not on that trigger until your sights are on target. And then of course, knowing your target and what is beyond it, like I said before, making sure we are staying aware of our backdrop and also making sure we are aware of what is in front of our target and what is on the sides. So guys, complacency kills, all right? So firearms are one of those things. They are tools, very powerful tools that require a whole lot of responsibility. They're tools that can change your life or somebody else's life in an instant. So making sure that you are following these 4 universal firearm safety rules every single time you take your gun out, whether that's on the range or at home, is going to be huge. Generally, it's not necessarily any one thing that gets you in trouble. It is stacking grievances upon each one of these rules that get you in trouble. So you break one of these rules, it's going to be a very stern, firm slap on the wrist. You break 2 of the rules, we're getting pretty dicey. And you break 3 of the rules, then you're probably going to shoot yourself or somebody else in the pinky toe. And we don't want that. So making sure we are staying safe and making sure we have a routine, set, disciplined list of things we go through whenever we go to the range or at the house is going to be huge, right? Every time I come to the range, I have a mental checklist that I go through whenever I put my bag on the table and I know I'm getting ready to take a gun out. First and foremost, I make sure that I am doing slow checks of the chamber. I'm making sure my finger never goes inside that trigger guard. Anytime I'm bringing the gun out, I'm making sure the gun stays pointed downrange at all times, and I'm making sure there is no spare rounds floating around inside of the magazine or, like I said, inside the chamber. Just making sure that gun is clear and safe and it is ready to accept rounds when I get started. So then now we have trigger discipline drills. Like I said before, guys, just making sure your finger is straight and off of that trigger the entire time until your sights are on target and you intend to fire is going to be paramount. I don't care where you place your finger, whether it's on the frame or on the slide. I typically try not to place it anywhere near the trigger guard. I try to place it either above or below. It's up to you how you do that. Just make sure that finger does not go inside the trigger guard. That's on you. So safety doesn't stop when you leave the range, okay? It still continues on as you are transporting your firearms to and from the range. So when we are heading back to the house, before I step off of the range, I make sure my gun is clear and safe. There are no spare rounds floating around in the magazine, in the gun. I make sure I pop that out. Put all the rounds back into my ammo can and make sure my spare mag has no more rounds in it. And then I make sure I place that gun back into whatever bag I had in the same condition, making sure the muzzle stays pointed downrange at all times. And as I'm getting back to the house, I make sure I have a designated spot that I can store that firearm clear and safe and ready for me to use when I get back home. So if you don't have a lockbox or a safe, make sure you get one. These things are super inexpensive. They're all over the place. You can grab them off of Amazon. I know Stopbox is a really great one. And then you have, let's see, a Dalm box. That is DALMBOX. I think they're like 25 bucks on Amazon. Don't quote me on that, but they're super inexpensive. I use that one myself. That's TSA approved. You can travel around with it. It's pretty good. Or those are the tall safes that you can get. I mean, those are relatively inexpensive now as well, just because there's so many manufacturers. Make sure you just have a spot to store your firearm, once again, clear and safe and able for you to get access to. And then the range safety and commands. Whenever we are on the range, making sure we are following the rules of the RSO and staff, making sure you are a compliant shooter, someone that is following the rules versus a non-compliant shooter. Guys, I have seen both extremes on these. I've seen guys who are super good and super respectful to RSOs, and I've seen guys who really just don't care about anything, and then they place themselves or other people in danger. So a couple of things to explain. A hot range is a range that is currently being fired on. People are shooting, they're having fun, they are actively engaging their targets. And then a cold range, if you ever hear an RSO called cold range, that's because they have seen something that you are probably not aware of, and they are just making sure everything is good and safe. So once an RSO calls cold range, place your firearm down, muzzle pointed down range, and the RSO may also ask you to take a step back outside of the lane just to ensure that their safety is good. And then of course, guys, the mindset and the responsibility, that is up to you. Making sure you are taking your safe practices not only on the range but outside of the range as well is going to be paramount. Making sure you are working in discipline, making sure you're keeping your finger off the trigger, making sure you're doing your dry fire practice at home, and just ensuring all around that you are staying safe and making sure everyone else around you while you are shooting is staying safe as well. And this is not just a you thing. As you continue to get better and you progress through your firearms journey, you start feeling a lot more comfortable, there are going to be other people around you that you see at the range, maybe some of your family members, that you're going to notice some things, some unsafe practices that they are doing. Hey, say something about it. At this point, you are educated, you know what you're doing. Nothing wrong with you saying, hey, look, these are the safe practices that I take home with me and onto the range. These are some things that can keep you safe as well. I know they're going to appreciate that advice from you, especially coming from a friend or a family member. So don't be shy about it. If you see something, say something. All right, guys, so thanks for coming to my TED Talk on firearms safety. And once again, guys, making sure you are practicing safe firearms handling discipline, not only at the range, but at the home as well, taking full accountability and responsibility for your skills or the lack thereof. I'm glad you guys are watching that video. That lets me know that you are taking your firearms handling skills personally and seriously. And once again, making sure you remember those 4 universal firearm safety rules. Generally at the range you're going to, those rules are posted somewhere. I know we have ours inside of the range, so make sure you take a little quick gander at those. And on top of that, make sure you ask the RSOs, hey, this is my first time here at the range, or is there any little tips, tricks, things that you like to see or don't like to see? That just kind of gives the RSO the warm fuzzies whenever somebody asks that question, because they know that they are going to be safe and they know that they don't have to hover over that person as much. All right, guys, well, really appreciate you for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you. Make sure you follow all of our socials, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any other firearm safety tips or rules or safe practices that you use, make sure you put them down there in the comments so you can help out your other fellow firearms owners. All right, guys, catch you on the next one.